Awesome. You've even got the little jump man on the paper. I don't know if that shows it or not. You can kind of see it. That's some detail right there. These are nice. I'll throw these on foot, see how they fit. I think I went down in size, or no, I went up to a 12 in these, I believe. So we'll throw them on foot, see how they fit. Yeah, I got them in a 12. I think it said to size up. At least the videos I watched on it, people said to size up. Well, the 12 fit pretty snug. I still have some toe room, but I mean not snug in a bad way. Like they're not loose. They're not flopping around on my foot. So if you're on a half size, I would go up instead of going down. They fit pretty good. I need a vacuum. I like the tread. And the different, they kind of remind me of like the Pollux clog with the harder rubber in certain areas for a little more traction. I think I remember reading there's 3 different densities of foam on this shoe, or on this clog or mule, whatever you call it. The top is one density, the insole is another, and then you've got the bottom tread is another density. These are pretty nice. Not bad. They slip on pretty good. They're not too loose. Pretty good. Happy with these. Nike's got a sale going on with these right now too. I think it was like 25% off. They normally go for 60, and I got these for 45, which I thought was a pretty good deal. I don't know how long that sale is going to be going on. It's November 2024 right now, and I got them at the end of October. So I thought this olive colorway was pretty nice. We got little Stella girl here. We're going to go for a walk, and we're wearing the Jordan Roams in olive, I think is the colorway. Is that right, Stella? Olive? Yeah? Okay. Let's go. It's a little chilly out, so we are bundled up. Stella's got a little sweater on. I got my coat on. So we'll go. Let's go, Stella's. Today is November 9th. Starting to get into the cooler months. I gotta hurry up and review these warmer temperature shoes before it gets too cold to wear them. So we got the Jordan Roams today, and it's a relatively enclosed mule, so it's not too bad wearing them today. It's in the 50s today. It's a little chilly, but there's enough coverage over the foot that it still retains some of the warmth. Come on, Stella. So they're open-heeled, but they're pretty enclosed. They're nice and wide. I like the width of them. Okay, come on, Stella. So they fit differently than Crocs. Crocs usually are a little large on the top, I noticed, and having the heel strap helps keep them on the foot, whereas these They're a little snugger on the top. They're a little wider on the sides. I can fit a finger in on each side. So they're good for wide feet if you've got wide feet. And they stay in place pretty well. They're pretty comfy. A lot of the leaves have already fallen off the trees, so we're kind of past that pretty autumn stage. Starting to get into the gray and dreary stage of the year. So these are good for wide feet. I would go up a size though if you're on a half size. I think I mentioned that in the first part in unboxing. I went up to a 12 and they fit pretty good. I like the additional width. They're pretty comfy. And they're not too cold. I mean, my feet aren't really cold like I mentioned before. There's enough coverage on the top of the foot that it retains some of the heat. They still breathe pretty well though. I mean, this isn't the most ideal shoe selection for today's temperatures, but it's not bad. My feet aren't cold. The footbed is very comfortable. It reminds me of the Echo line with Crocs. So there's a pretty substantial sole on them, and it's got a nice squish factor to it that reminds me of the Echo line. I actually had those Echo slides on earlier, and then I put these on, and I didn't really notice much change in comfort from one to the other. So the footbed is very similar to the Echo line in terms of comfort and the squish factor. So they're pretty nice. I'd say they're more comfortable than your standard Croc. And the excuse me, it has nice arch support to it. Just the ergonomics of the footbed is pretty decent. Set aside the squish factor. I mean, just it has kind of a nice arch support to it, and just has some contour to the footbed that you don't find in your standard Croc. So if you're looking for an EVA foam shoe that isn't a Croc, that has a different style to it, these are a pretty good option. With the top of the shoe being a little tighter, keeping the mule on foot, they feel a little sportier. Like you could run in these and not have them fly off your foot. So they're pretty decent. I'm surprised with the comfort on them. We'll get some more action footage here. So the comfort's pretty good. The price wasn't too bad. I got them on sale, like I mentioned. They had a 25% off sale, so I got them for $45. The quality of the foam is pretty decent. It's pretty resilient. I showed how it had the different tread on the bottom of the foot, like at the toe, and then the heel. Reminds me of the Pollux clogs from Crocs. If you're familiar with those, how they have the extra rubber on the bottom to give it a little more tread. These kind of have that thing going on too. I'll show in a second. Come on, Stella. See them on you. So they're a little more versatile, I'd say, than your standard Croc, just having the different densities of foam and rubber on the shoe. I like that they're just a mule that you can just slide your foot right into, and they stay on foot too. They don't flop around or slide off, which is good quality design on them. They're pretty stylish too. I like how they look. They had two current colorways. One of them the olive, and the other one was like a gray silver, which was pretty decent looking, but I already have a lot of gray shoes and slides, so I didn't really want to add another gray item to the collection, so I ended up going with the olive green, and I think they're pretty nice. I have a lot of olive colored shoes too, a lot of green colored shoes, but not as many as the gray, so that worked out pretty decent. I think they had like white and black were the original colors, so it's nice that they're mixing it up a little bit each year. I think these have been out for a few years now. I remember looking at them couple months ago. Maybe they haven't been out for a few years, but at least maybe 1 or 2 years. But last time I checked them out, they only had a white and a black, and I wasn't real keen on those either. The whites look clean, the blacks look muted. Couldn't really see a lot of the design elements in the black color, but the olive is kind of a happy balance. They still look pretty clean and stylish, and you can still make out all the different design elements on it. So they have a nice aesthetic to them that I do appreciate. So they're pretty stylish. They got some decent ventilation in the tops. Some of the holes are closed. I like the little airman tab on them. So they fit very well. Pretty stylish. Oh yeah, I was gonna show that rubber. You can see it on the heel and on the toe. So they have a little better of a grip, a little more of a shoe quality component to them. So it's pretty good. I'm pleased with them. They seem a little more versatile than some other offerings. So, and the price point isn't bad either. So they're a decent, like, cooler weather offering. Though I'm sure they'd be fine in the summer too. They have a nice texture to the insole, as you can see, which would allow the foot to breathe a little bit. So there's some pretty good design components. Come on, Stella. Tie me up, Stella.